What is up? What is up? All right, familia, this is Coach Greg, and today we're going to go over a recovery class. This is going to be for anyone that has any issues with the shoulders. We are going to help make your shoulders stronger. We're going to show you some stretches and some strengthening to do as well. So there's four parts of the body that help out with the shoulder. We're going to talk about the neck, the lats, your chest, and your back. Those are four things that are around the shoulder, and they're going to help kind of form if you're injured, if you're tight, if it's just weak, if you don't have mobility, and they're all going to help. So I'm going to just go over what I think is the most important part. Odds are there are 3 out of the 4 that are really tight, and the other one's loose and weak. So when it comes to the tightness, we're going to talk about people with neck tightness and all these muscles that go through the neck into the shoulder. Pecs, if you have someone that has bad posture, that means these muscles in the front are pulling you into that position. And then also the lat. If you're not someone that's always stretching up overhead and reaching, which none of us really do all the time, that's probably tight as well. So we're going to talk about loosening up and stretching out the lats, the chest, and the neck. And then we're going to talk about strengthening that loose part of our body, which is probably going to be our back. If you guys are someone that's in this position, that means this muscle right here is loose and weak, and it's hard to even get your muscles to activate enough to get our posture right. So posture plays a big key in shoulder strengthening and mobility. A term that's used a lot in Parisi is injury resilience, meaning how resilient you are to getting hurt. How well can you kind of bear that from happening? And we're going to talk about how to make our shoulders more resilient. So this is going to be 1, help rehab the shoulder, 2, help strengthen the shoulder, and 3, get you guys more aware of what's happening. So the first thing we're going to go over is stretching. We're going to stretch out our chest, our lats, and our neck, starting out with our lats. You guys are going to do a simple stretch. We all know this one. Grab your wrist, go overhead with a soft bend. I'm going to do everything on my right side. Make sure you do both sides, though. So we're going to grab that wrist, reach all the way across. Take a deep breath. And now that I'm here, exhale. Next time I do it, deep breath. And as I exhale, while still reaching, I'm going to rotate down and across. Get one more. Right. If you need a few more of those stretches, by all means, keep doing that. The next thing we're going to do is going to be going for the neck. So that hand that you just reached across, now we're going to go behind our back with that hand. You can grab onto that wrist. Now, as I pull my hand down and away from my body, I'm going to reach my neck across as well. Reach your head back, tuck your chin forward. What I'm doing right here is I'm going to stretch out, pulling this as long as I can, and then playing with the range of motion I have in my neck. Tuck the chin, roll it away, and roll back. You're going to feel a lot of tightness kind of loosen up. Don't do it so much that it hurts. Do it so you get a little bit of an uncomfortable stretch. That's our second stretch. The next one, we're going to hit the chest. 2 ones right here. The first one, hands up high on a wall, tuck your head through. Keep your back flat and stretch out. You should be feeling that right here. The other one, you can go on a wall again. This time, you guys can turn your body away and look across. So now that you guys are stretching out your chest, your neck, and your lats, now we're going to talk about the other one, the strengthening aspect. How to strengthen your shoulder. So we're going to talk about 2 different motions. The first one, we're going to be doing an overhand rotation. If you have someone at your house that can help you out with this, that's an easy way to do it. If you're by yourself, we can use that wall or a stick like I have this dowel. But what we're going to do first is we want to get your whole body in a straight line. Always think about posture. Don't compensate by leaning back to get your hand in the right position. You want to stay upright. Now from here, we're going to work on your range of motion. What do you have this way? How much muscle control can you get? And the first thing you're going to do is get a passive stretch first, and then we're going to let go of that passive stretch that's helping you out, and then you have to actively hold it. So what it's going to look like is this. You can either have somebody with you to pull your hand back. If you don't have somebody with you, you're going to take a stick, and then you're going to take your opposite hand. Now with your stick, the bottom hand is going to pull your hand all the way back. This is a lot of range of motion. I do this a lot, so I have a little bit of extra. And once you get someone that pulls you into this position, all you want to do is let go of the stick and activate your hand and your wrist and turn all these muscles on. I'm forcing my arm back. You're gonna feel all these muscles really fire, really fire. Take a deep breath. Your arm should almost be shaking throughout this, and relax. Those muscles that you're working are right here, so where you're gonna feel that one. You guys can do that for a couple reps on both sides. That iso hold, you digging in and holding that, that's the strengthening part. What we're gonna do next is the opposite. So from here, we're gonna work on the other range of motion. Odds are this one's a lot worse for people. Now, the first thing you can do is just go to a wall like this. Put your elbow on the wall, put your wrist on the wall, and get yourself at least in this position. And then if you're not gonna do that, we can actually take a person to grab your wrist or a dowel like I have. I'm grabbing it like a baton. If you wanna think about your racing, grabbing a baton. That's the way you wanna grab onto the dowel. Next thing is you get your elbow locked in behind it and your other hand grabs. When your hand grabs, when you try to pull it forward, your hand goes back. Adjust your posture, get that hand back. And now from here, I'm gonna let go of the dowel and my hand's in this position and I'm turning all those muscles on. All those muscles on, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're gonna hold your elbow in that position, hold your hand in that position, and give yourself as much tension as you guys can. So we are working on the rotation on the way down, that internal rotation, and then the external rotation on the way up. Your range of motion when you guys do this matters a lot. Here's the deal. If you do not have the control, if you can't control that range of motion and it's kind of like a sticking point, whenever you move and you kind of lose that motion, that's where you're most likely to be injured when you're in that position. So if you're someone that's swimming often or putting yourself in a push-up in a lot of the same positions, if you guys don't have control over that angle, you're more likely to get hurt. So what this strengthening technique is gonna do, it's gonna give you more mobility and more range of motion that you are actually in control of, not just stretching and holding. You gotta be able to get your hand there. The difference between someone that can be here, but then someone else, say I can only go this far back on my own. Someone can crank my arm back that much more, but I can't do it myself. That's showing that you don't have that strength or that mobility yet. You gotta work on what your body allows you to actually get through, all right? So after you guys do all those exercises, you're gonna feel maybe a little bit of like burning in the shoulder. Good, that means your muscles are turning on and you're feeling a good stretch. If you're in pain, you gotta dial it back a little bit. The last part is what we're gonna go over is strengthening more movement. I'm gonna use a 3-pound dumbbell. That's all I got. So what you're gonna start with, thumb up. You guys are gonna start by bringing, I'm just gonna lunge so you guys can see my whole camera angle. You're gonna start with your thumb up and start to go overhead. Now, once I cross my shoulder line here, I want you guys now to bring your pinky out away from your body. So we're gonna rotate. So we're gonna go up with the thumb. Once you guys get overhead, rotate so your pinky's facing away and work on whatever motion you have around your body. From here, turn that thumb pointing forward again. We're gonna cycle back through it again. We need to be really aware of if I'm compensating. What compensating means is instead of just raising my arm up and being here, I'm gonna try to pull my shoulder out of position. We wanna keep the shoulder in place while we're doing this. No reason to do a compensation. Compensation can be a lean back, it can be a tuck forward, but you don't want that to happen. You wanna stay upright. Here, rotate, and control down. All the way through your range of motion, rotating as you come across. The idea is you want to feel like a burning sensation, like a ring around your shoulder, and that's going to help strengthen all those muscles. Guys, we got to work on working through the whole movement, and that's where you get stronger shoulder. Work on the actual range of motion you have. If you can't go higher than this, dial back and understand why that's happening. You probably have something pinched, you probably have something pulling your body there, and you might be too weak in the back, something like that. If you're really weak in the back and you can't get your shoulders in there, work on something a little bit different. Something as simple as putting your hands up right here and holding. Old school drill is keeping your hands up, slowly reaching high under smooth movement, and then slowly pulling back down. When I'm doing this the entire time, I'm in really good posture, and you wanna, again, control every inch. Don't let it just be up and then drop through. You have to own the movement throughout. So keep that in mind. That's going to help strengthen your back as well. Remember, odds are 95% of us are going to be really tight in the chest, the neck, and the lats, and really weak and loose in our backs. So that combination is going to help strengthen your shoulder. Those 4 muscles around our body, that is what's connecting our shoulders. So make sure that those parts are perfect before you move into the shoulder. If you're still tight in your lat and your shoulder's getting pulled in a funky spot, you can't fix that until you fix the first part. So keep that in mind. Cycle through those exercises. You guys can do 3 reps, 15-second holds, whatever you got to do to get through that. But stretch, strengthen, and get better. All right? Have a good one.